Hello again, everybody. This is Jolteon with another action figure review. Today we're going to be looking at the Tomy Pokemon, Vaporeon, Jolteon, and Flareon action figures. These being the three original forms of Eevee. And on the back of the packaging, you can see the three other forms of Eevee. There is about 8 now. They gave Eevee a water and grass type evolution, and so there is a total of 8 now, and then you can see some other Pokemon that are available in this line. I'm not current on a lot of the newer Pokemon, so I don't intend to buy these ones, but they do have a Ash Ketchum and Pikachu and Snorlax and the other ones in the line there. So we're going to open this up and we'll get to talking about these guys. So here we go. Now we have the three of them out of the package here, and the one other thing that they come with is this booklet here, which has an enormous amount of other Pokemon that you can buy. Everything from Gen 1, Gen 2, all kinds. So you can have a pause of that and decide if you want to get any more of those. So having a closer look at these guys, we'll start with Vaporeon here. So as you can see, it's got a big fin, as Vaporeon does, sticking out sides of its head, the ears, and the fin on top of its head, the tail. All that is very nicely sculpted. They got the fin there on top of its back. The tail is not articulated. It's on a very soft kind of not rubber, but it's like a very soft kind of plastic. The same with like the legs. The legs are very soft, so it's very flexible. You know, it doesn't really need to be, but it is flexible. And I particularly like the range of motion that this particular Pokemon has on its head, because it does have a very large, not crown, but just the large fin that protrudes from its head. So I just like the fact that it has a huge range of motion there, and we'll get into articulation on all of them, of course, but I just like the fact that it kind of goes all the way around like so. It's on like a single ball peg, so they did give it quite a range of motion, so it can look side to side, it can look down, it can look up quite a bit. And then the legs simply just go back and forth for all 4 of them. So that's a nice touch that they gave for Vaporeon. Jolteon, as you can see, has a different facial expression. The eyes are a little bit more serious, as if it's yelling. Its mouth is open. The ears are obviously different. That's the one thing I like about the Eevee evolutions, is that each one of them is significantly different than the other. So this being the electric type, it's yellow, and very nice coloring on that. They didn't go too dark, they didn't go too light. It's very accurate to how it should look. And going into articulation for this guy, you can see it goes up and down, and it can go side to side. It doesn't really do either side, so the ball peg on this one's a little more limited, based on the fact that its collar kind of adheres that, but it does have arm and leg articulation, or should I say paw articulation. So they go out about that far, and then these guys can go about that far back. And they stand, like I said, seeing as the plastic is a bit soft, they do stand quite well. They are short, and they do have a lot of, you know, leverage to stand on, so that's kind of a a given. Then we have Flareon here. Flareon has probably the most adorable looking face out of the three of them. It's got kind of a smile there, and it has the same articulation as the others. Seeing as it has a collar as well, it's kind of limited, but it does have a swivel there, and it can look up that far and a little bit more down. So good range of motion on Flareon's head there, and I like how the tail and everything came out there. The detail on these guys for their size is pretty good. I would like to note that I would have preferred they throw in an Eevee, but they have one listed on that pamphlet that they included, but it's kind of a bummer that they didn't throw in Eevee with this set. That would have been nice. But articulation for the legs on Flareon there, you can see they go out about that far, and the legs can't really go back at all due to the tail size. So the legs kind of just go forward there, and you can kind of get them into a maybe like a sitting pose if you have the arms down like that. Looks kind of funny, but that's those three guys. And I'll do a quick comparison here with some other Pokemon that I have. And here we have Jolteon, Vaporeon, and Flareon with the D-Arts Blastoise, Mewtwo, Charizard, and Venusaur. These being a little more adult-oriented collector figures. They do sell for quite a bit more, but I do feel that these ones scale very well with these guys, so that's main point for me. Just to give you a height measurement, you can see that they come up to about maybe a little over 2 inches there, say 2.5 depending on which one you're looking at, and the length on Vaporeon there is about 3 inches from nose to tail, a little over 3 inches. Jolteon is a little shorter from nose to tail. There you got about 2.5, say 2 3/4. And then Flareon is the shortest, being a little shy of 2.5. So all in all, I'm very happy with these three. I think that they're a good addition to any Pokemon figure collection. I am awaiting on the delivery of the Figma Red Trainer figure, so I think that the more Pokemon to go with that particular figure, the better. So these figures do retail for about $20 Canadian. I think it's a bit much. Like I said, I wish they had thrown in an Eevee too. That might have made it a little more worth the price point, but yeah, given the detail and the articulation on them, they're not like fixed figures, so it's nice that they are articulated, and I would recommend these three, especially if you have these other Pokemon figures. So I hope you like this review. Stay tuned for more, and have a good day.